Yeah, wait, before we start, are we pronouncing it, is it vampire or vampire? Well, I don't know, do I? That's what I'm asking you. Well, I would say vampire, but why are you being like this? Why can't you just give me a straight answer? Is it vampire or vampire? I'm calling it, well, it's fucking vampire now. Sorry about that. The story of Dr. Jonathan Reed, blood transfusion pioneer and ironically newborn vampire, I mean, technically speaking, he's still transfusing blood, isn't he? Vampyr is a tale of good and evil and human morality for which DONTNOD probably deserved more credit. It's a mix of third-person combat, a bit of stealth and investigation. Taking up residence at Pembroke Hospital in London, Reed's primary goal throughout is to find the beast who turned him and try and understand why it happened. Having taken the life of someone close to him in the early hours, he's feeling guilt-ridden over what he's done and terrified of what he might become. Playing as Reed, you're given full control over his actions and dialogue with well-written questions and responses designed to steer you into certain moral cul-de-sacs, just to see how ruthless you'll be to get out. Murder is completely possible and often encouraged in Vampyr as you speak to the various citizens of 19th century London and are ultimately able to choose their fate. Of course, it's more complicated than simply opting to eat some unlucky sod because you feel like it. Each character has a backstory and relationships with the other characters that you can investigate, manipulate or use to your advantage. But each death affects the well-being of a district in London, and so every time you sink your teeth into someone, there's a chance the game will become harder to complete. As you kill more and more people, the Guard of Priwen, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, a brotherhood of vampire slayers will grow in number, while the bigger vampires and beasties who will happily kill you too will become bolder. Citizens you had a rapport with will suddenly be dour and silent. Juggling your relationship with each NPC and keeping tabs on the mini-missions they send you on is half the game, while the other half is a slightly underwhelming action game with RPG elements weaved in. Combat isn't bad, though it's not as precise as it could be, but luckily you can murder literally scores of Priwen guards of whatever in the space of a night and not affect the world a jot. You'll earn XP towards unlocking stat increases and special vampire skills, while you have a Dishonored style teleport jump to reach high ledges and later perform combat dodges. It's nothing revolutionary, but the way Vampyr mixes the fast-paced combat and action with the much more measured and to-date investigation gameplay, including dealing with issues that arise at Pembroke, is impressive. The harder you look, the more cracks you'll see, but on the surface at least, DONTNOD's Nocturnal Adventure is a solid offering with a great atmosphere and some very decent writing. The graphics, unsurprisingly, have been dialed back to a level similar to Frogware's The Sinking City on the Switch, muddying textures and shaving away layers of detail and lighting wizardry to wrangle the frame rate under control. And they've largely done a good job. It looks far better on the small screen than a monitor or TV, but the frame rate holds steady for the most part, only really dipping during frantic fights. Vampyr is a surprising addition to the Switch's catalogue of ports, but it's also a welcome one. There's a lot to like here despite some slightly lackluster combat, and it's a decent sized adventure to sink your teeth into, if you'll excuse the pun. If you missed Vampyr on the other consoles, it's worth checking out on Nintendo Switch for those who prize story above bombast and like a good investigation to get stuck into.